have the president of PAVI, Persons Associated with Visual Impairment. And PAVI is here today to talk about the events that have happened throughout the year and upcoming events for this next couple of months. So good morning, Bhawani Persad. How are you doing?
Good morning, Shamla. I am fine, thank you. Let me make one correction. I am now the vice president. Shift roles a little bit to accommodate, the flexibility of a two-term limit. So I am now the vice president, but still very actively involved.
Awesome. I stand corrected. No pun intended. So, Bhawani, can you, to put everything into context, can you tell us the mandate of...
Sure, you just relax and let me through. Right.
Yeah.
PAVI was launched on October 26, 1995, which means that only recently we celebrated our 29th anniversary as an organization. We have been through a lot. We have done a lot for a number of blind and visually impaired persons in our country, our community, and by extension, the region. We are trying to do what we can given our limited resources. We enjoyed government subvention for a couple of years. It has stopped. We're trying to get it renewed. But in the meantime, we have to do what we have to do with our limited resources, as I've said. PAVI, during its years of work in this country, has made a significant contribution to the enhancement and empowerment of persons who are blind and visually impaired. In fact, through our organization, we were able to get the government of the day back in the late 90s, early 2000s, to implement the voting ability of persons with blindness or visual impairment to vote independently using a template. And since that has come into being at national and local government elections, persons who are visually impaired use that service to the max so that they don't have to carry any companion in the voting booth, some companion who they may not trust, or, like a husband and wife, the husband voting for X and the wife voting for Y, and everybody has a degree of independence. PAVI's mode of operation is in the area of rehabilitation adjustment to blindness. As I said before, we've made many strides in terms of getting persons, back on the road again after losing sight, because we believe strongly that there is life after blindness, and therefore our rehab program highlights that in no uncertain terms. Of course, what we need is funding that will help us to continue to provide services to blind and visually impaired persons. Shamla, I must tell you, only yesterday I received a call from the head of Arrive Alive. She has a granddaughter who's blind and needs to know what services are available in Trinidad and Tobago. There are some services available. They are far and few in between, but we have to work with what we have for the time being until better can be done, and better will be done once people support the work of PAVI and contribute to our various initiatives.
So, Mr. Persad, can you tell me, in terms of, since you began your role in PAVI, right?
I was a foundation member.
Right. And throughout the years, have you seen progress in terms of inclusion and equity in particular, in terms of, accepting persons who are blind, in terms of policy, institutional acceptance, and so on?
Well, I have seen some improvement slowly but surely, because people's attitude are beginning to change. 50 years ago, when I started to pound the pavements, the attitude was, what are the blind people doing on the road? All they should be in all their house. But today, people are being recognized, not just blind persons, but persons with disabilities throughout the community, people like yourself. Whoever tell yourself that you would have hosted a segment on a TV station. Yes, in days of old, we had somebody by the name of Salisha Ali, who was in a wheelchair and who was a newsreader at the said station, TTT. So, it has grown by leaps and bounds in some respects. We still have pavement problems. We still have ignorant people who park stupidly. We still have people who try to jump the cane. We still have people who believe that blindness is contagious. And if I go and shake Bhawani hand, I will get blind too. So, but slowly but surely. And we live in a global village now where people are getting the opportunity to see persons outside there in the bigger world, so to speak, who are advancing. Now, let me say that many of the problems we face here in Trinidad and Tobago is
Yeah.
what was faced by them at some stage in their lives. And I'm talking about the metropolitan countries like the Kingdom, the United States, etc. They too have a high unemployment rate, even though people have the opportunity for greater education and advancement. And we must thank technology because technology is making it a lot more easier for persons to function. I remember in days of old when children were going to quote unquote normal schools and they had to get their textbooks, it was a big challenge. Today we have textbooks that are readily available at your fingertips, so to speak, because there is things like braille and braille display machines. There is screen enhancement. There is a lot of things that is making life easier for the person with education. Of course,
Right.
employment still
Yeah.
continues to be a big concern.
So can in terms of events, and you guys had events in the past for this year and upcoming
Well,
events. Can you
we've
tell
had
us
a
about-
couple. We've had a bingo. And we have bingo where blind and sighted persons played together. We had our second annual boat cruise in October, and we're going to have it next year again. People are already asking for it, so it's going to be held on the second Saturday in October. But our big fundraising event for many a year has been our luncheon. Well, it started as a dinner, but with the crime situation, we had to shift the goalpost, so to speak. So it's now a luncheon. It's the third year we are at Hyatt Regency Hotel in Port of Spain. The date is Sunday, the 24th of November. The time is from 12 noon to 4 p.m. It is under the patronage of former First Lady, Mrs. Zalia Hassan Ali. The cost of tickets, $450. But if you buy a table of 8, then the price goes down. You get a little discount, $200 that will help to pay your transport perhaps. And it's going to be a day of food, of fun, of entertainment, door prizes, and the like. Now, the entertainment will include groups like Luces Brillantes, Tiantec Luces Brillantes. We have Ronoman. We have saxophone player. We have Niall Manswell, who's well known in the community of blind and visually impaired persons, and others. So we have a full cast of entertainers, and a good time is promised for all. So it's a Sunday that you could take a little breather from all your hectic schedule and say, look, I need a little breather, so I'm going to the Hyatt. I'm taking someone special to the Hyatt because perhaps they've never been there. The avians, the intricacies of the Hyatt. So
Um,
mhm.
can you tell us the purpose of the event and how persons can reach out to get um
The purpose
tickets?
of the event basically is to assist PAVI with its adjustment to blindness rehab programs. Of course,
Yeah.
in doing all of this, we have an office to run, so we must take a little to run the office. Tickets can be had by calling 220-1073 between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday. Also, you can visit PAVI Trinidad Facebook page, or if you know a member like myself, you could call and we can make arrangements for you to get your tickets. What is interesting, Shamla, is we now live in a virtual world. So you don't have to leave San Fernando or Bapo, where you're living, to come to PAVI office, pay for a ticket, pick up your ticket. You can pay online, one, and you can pick up your tickets at the door. You can get a copy of your ticket via WhatsApp or some media, and you can pick up the actual physical ticket at the door on the day with your name on it. So it is a lot more easier for you to access your tickets and make payments via bank transfers, etc.
So in closing, what would you like to tell the general public about PAVI?
I would like to tell the general public, continue to support PAVI, continue to support our work. We are persons with visual impairment. We are here not only for ourselves, but to help others in the community. And as we get closer to two significant events where light overpowers darkness, Diwali or Dibawali, let me extend to the members of the Hindu community, Happy Dibawali, and to advise everybody that Dibawali and Christmas brings with it a lot of eating and drinking and stuff. And some people overdo it. Remember, diabetes and lifestyle diseases are still here with us. So whatever you do, do it in moderation. Take it one step at a time. It might taste good, but sometimes it's not good for you. So be careful what you do, what you consume. But remember, the object of these two seasons, Diwali and Christmas, is light over darkness.
So, Bhawani, those are some salient advice. I want to say thank you so much for coming and letting the public know who is PAVI, making persons more aware so they can get access in terms of, persons who are visually impaired can get access to your services. So thank you so much. It is always a pleasure.
No problem, Shamla. You take care. And to the staff of TDT, we say all the best. Please continue to provide the service that the country needs.
Thank you so much, Bhawani. Guys, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to this week's segment of Unique and Different. As I always say, be good, everyone.